hello there, and we are live. See ya, ladies, gentlemen, everyone who'll be popping in later on in the show. See ya, it's the big one for today. Yeah, guys, of course, you just saw me. I had a show with Football Bands on this channel, but this is my second show for today. And you know what? Yeah, I went down there, yeah, to bring in some hard hitters. Yeah, you'll be seeing these guys on my channel most of the time because I have plans of, talking to these two and see if we can make this show kind of, a show that can go round to our channels when we start pulling weight on it. But I'll talk to them later on about that. But see ya, guys, for the big one, yeah, today I got an Arsenal fan, yeah, down here with me, and I hope to be, guys, you'll be seeing this brother on this channel, yeah. Me and this guy will be doing lots of stuff together. So I just want to give you a taste of who this guy is, yeah. See, welcome from the Red Pitch podcast, yeah, guys. Welcome, Cav, yeah, Cav. Talk to these people, man. How you doing?
Cheers. I'm doing good, man. Thank you for having me as well, Tony. Appreciate it. Yeah, listen, like you said, another Arsenal fan. Happy at the minute. I don't know how long the smiles will last. But I'm here, man. I'm here. So everyone follow me up on the Red Pitch podcast on YouTube, on Instagram. That's me, man.
Yeah, sure. See ya, guys. Yeah. You guys will know where I went to get this brother from, man. See, it's a Manchester United fan, and Mancunian is in the house. See ya, guys. Yeah, don't sleep on this one. Don't sleep on this one, guys. Yeah. See, no other person, yeah, than Sheik TV is down here with me, man. How you doing? He's a member of the Sarkazim family, of which I am also a member of the Sarkazim TV family. So, Sheik TV, welcome to the house. Introduce yourself to these people, man. Talk to these people.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so Sheik TV, my channel on YouTube. Obviously, Tony does his show with Flawless, so that's how I basically got to know Tony on the Thursday edition of the United podcast with Arsenal. Big up to you as well. Cav, is it Cav? Yeah, big up to you, Cav, and first time talking to you. So obviously, an absolute honor to be on the channel for sure. Like he said, he might be having a happy season. You Arsenal fans might be having a happy season so far. For us, it's been mud brother settings, man. It's been in the mud settings for us United fans. But big derby game coming up on this Sunday, so we're definitely going to get into a lot of that and just about how our season's been going in general too. But an absolute honor to be on the channel. Definitely need to look to get you guys on the channel too. Sometime soon. And right now, currently, I'm at road to 200 subs. So I think I'm around the 170 mark. So I just started my channel about less than a month ago. But yeah, it's been great. This whole content creator space has been awesome, and everyone is so welcoming, and it's just great top lads everywhere. So it's thank you so much for having me on the channel, man. For real.
Sure, man. It's an honor to have you and Cav down here making your debut today on my channel. And of course, guys, you guys will be popping in down here. We'll have a show together, and we'll multi-stream it to all our channels. So that's the aim. That's why I want to bring this together. But, we'll talk about all that after the show. But see, you know what? You just opened a can of worms. See, it's Derby this weekend. And you know what? You could be helping Arsenal to do a favor. Yeah. This weekend.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys would love that, right?
Definitely. But you know what? Yeah, we'll be talking about that Manchester United derby. We'll be sprinkling into it, the delusions of Eric Ten Hag, and of course, we'll also put into the fray about what's going on with Rashford, and partly with your new owners and what they're trying to implement in the football club. And of course, we also have Arsenal, a talk of which Cav will do a great job talking to us about. The strikers were linked to Sesko. I'm hearing of Gyokeres, who in front of Arsenal scout yesterday, gave a befitting audition, for himself. This could be a very, very big and instrumental move because we also have that eye on Ivan Toney. To be nice to know which striker is, firmly in your sights right now, and how far we're going in the league. See how we're blitzing teams, and of course we'll talk about Manchester United. In the run end. See, let's go into that Manchester United, Manchester City derby day on Sunday. Sheik, open it up for us. See, should Arsenal fans, because you're in front of two Arsenal fans, should we look at you, on Derby Day and say, you know what, in the grand scheme of things, Liverpool are your biggest rivals, let's get this correct, They're the biggest rivals.
Yeah.
Secondly, you have your local city rivals in Manchester City. See, the legacy of Ferguson, it's on the line. If Man City venture wins that title, that's a 4P. I know you don't want that to happen, mostly from your local rivals. You have Liverpool, who's also in the frame of winning that title this season. You don't want your enemies, your sworn enemies win the league. This is where you have to do it. You're just 8 points adrift from top 4 right now. Of course, Aston Villa is occupying that top 4 position right now, 8 points away. See, if you manage to beat Manchester City, you lower that gap. Because definitely Aston Villa will be having tough games coming up. See, it's a Manchester City derby. What do you think? Open the can of worms for us, my brother, man.
Yeah. So obviously, big game for us always. So it's like, Manchester City, Derby, no matter what's at stake, whether how shit we've been, how shit they've been, it's still a Derby at the end of the day. It's kind of like if we ever play Leeds, if we play Leeds in the FA Cup, or if we play Leeds in like a Carabao Cup or something like that, it's still like a big game for us as a fan base. But it's like, you got to be real and you got to be realistic. It's like, they have more that's on the line for them in this game than us, to be honest, because for them it's that time of the season where they're starting to kick off. The title race is getting it's heating up for sure. Obviously, Arsenal fans, Liverpool fans, all looking to us to try to get a result out of this game for sure. But if I'm being completely honest, man, I don't think we're going to do anything in this game, seriously, because you have to look at the team that we have. You have to look at how we've been performing. Mathematically, a couple of weeks ago, we all could have said that we're in a top 4 race because of how, the point difference is between us, Spurs, and even Villa, to include them. It's just that, yeah, man, it's just like I look at the team, I look at how we've been playing, I look at our manager, I look at all these different things that I counter into Manchester United Football Club at the moment. And I just don't think that we're well equipped to even get some sort of result there, to be honest. We just seen Man City, we just seen Holland put 5 past Luton, and we barely scraped past Luton in the Premier League. Like, we in the first half of that game, it could have easily been 3-2, it could have easily been 2-2. That result could have gone, the opposite way for sure. But it's like, you have to be real. You have to look at the team that we have. We were missing Højlund, who was starting to kick form for us, who had like 5 and 5, who people could say it's a purple patch and he's starting to hit form and all that stuff. But he was our best attacking player in our team at that time. And now we're picking and choosing who we can play. Ten Hag has to pick and choose who he can play. So it's like, as much as I know you guys would love for us to get some sort of result, I wouldn't keep the hopes too high. We're playing in the Etihad, where we haven't won in a while. Last time we played there, we conceded 6. Haaland and Foden both scored hat-tricks that day. So it's like, as much as on paper, this game is something that matters to us a lot because it's a derby. It's all about, getting the bragging rights, the pride, and all that type of stuff. And we don't want City to win, 4 in a row and break a record and stuff like that. But it's like, City have already done some stuff like that, man. They won a treble, in England. The only other team that's really won a treble was us, and they've broken that record, and they've gone ahead and done that treble. And it's like, the thing it is there's not a lot of City fans on the YouTube space that we see a lot. For me, it's all about having those bragging rights. You don't hear a lot of City fans talk up and gloat that treble that they've won, because there's just not a lot of City fans on the space. But it's like, at the end of the day, it's still a derby. In terms of rankings of where teams that I would love to beat the most, is like Liverpool is on top for me. Second, actually, I do put up Arsenal, because historically, Arsenal and United have had the best rivalries. Like, back in the day, the Fergie, Wenger era, all that type of stuff. Like, Ruud van Nistelrooy, Patrick Vieira, those rivalries were just what made those type of games the games to watch. And City, like, even though they've been like our noisy neighbors for a while now, it's like, in terms of fan bases and stuff like that, in terms of history of the club, I don't think they could ever. I won't say I don't think they could ever surpass us, because you never know what could happen. But it's like, they're not going to still do that in anytime soon. We're still going to be the bigger club. We still have a lot of history, heritage. We have more fans than them. I could go and get a season ticket at City tomorrow, and I live here in California, so it's like I could go get one tomorrow if I wanted to. But at the end of the day, Derby day it is. It definitely does matter whether these players are going to turn up for this game or not. I have no idea, to be honest. Like, I don't expect a lot from these players at all. And we'll get into how I feel about United and stuff and Ten Hag and all his delusions and all that stuff too. But it's like I've been Ten Hag out for a very, very long time now.
Yeah.
I don't trust in a lot of these players. I don't think they play for the badge. I don't think they play for the manager. I don't think they play for the fans. I don't think they do any of that type of stuff, man. So it's like how we're going to set up against City, I have no idea. I don't know what team he's going to come out with. We have tons of injuries right now. Like the lineup that I would have preferred to see is a lot of our players like Licha, like, you know, Lisandro Martinez is not there. Hoyland's not there. We're missing a lot of crucial players, but we'll see how it goes, man. It's like, it's an early kickoff for me, 7:30 a.m. I honestly think it could, like, if we set up how we did against Liverpool when we went to Anfield, because a lot of these predictions and a lot of all these fans are talking about how we could get smacked up at the Etihad.
Yeah, smashed up.
Yeah, a lot of people said that about the Liverpool game when we traveled to Anfield, and we ended up getting a 0-0 draw. So it's like, if Ten Hag is able to, and I don't trust him in any way, just want to make that clear, is that I don't trust him to do or come out with some sort of tactic that could set us up for a game like how we did at Anfield. But it could go 1-1, 0-0, or it could just be a 4-0, 5-0 City thrashing, man. So it's like, I have no confidence at all. We'll see how it goes. In terms of top four race, like, if you ask me personally, don't believe in all this top four hype. We're not in no top four race. We don't have a team that deserves to play in the Champions League. Like, I'd say at bar Europa League is where we would probably play. From what I'm expecting for the rest of the season is play youngsters, try to get the best out of your players that you can right now. See if you can find some hidden gems, just like how you did find Kobbie Mainoo into our squad. Give everybody a fair opportunity, give everybody a fair chance to play into the lineup, and we'll go from there, man. And obviously, you know, we'll get into all this sporting directors and the Ineos and all that type of stuff. It's just, yeah, man. There used to be a time where we would go to places like Anfield, we'd go to places like Etihad, and we'd play for the shirt and we'd play for the badge, and we'd turn up for the game. Now I just feel like those days are gone with this current manager and stuff like that. I just don't think we're well equipped enough. And I see that question from Football Van Channel, big up to you. He says, can you pinch a draw at the Etihad? I seriously don't. I can't confidently say that. Like, if we catch City on an off day, which we can, like, if we catch City on an off day.
But come on, man. You're Manchester United. You're Manchester United.
Oh, I understand.
You should be 100%. Having chest. You are Manchester United. You still have that name. You see, you still went to Anfield, played negative football, and you still got results at the end of the day. Like, see, because I keep seeing Manchester United fans, of course, let me move to you, of course, Cav, Of course, we'll come back down to my guy, Sheikh. But see, because I've been seeing Manchester United fans, you know, on Twitter and the host of all this social media, they have the fight, to say that when Arsenal come to Old Trafford at that penultimate period where we have to definitely beat them if we are to go in there to win that title this season, they are saying that, you know what, we actually have a chance of actually beating you guys. But it comes to a big one, a Manchester derby. And none of them have the chest or the cojones for it. And I find that very, very despicable. See, Sheikh is the second Manchester United fan I've talked to officially, but I've sampled opinions from my Manchester United friends, and all of them have given up on even getting a draw even before going to the Etihad. It's like like this defeatist mentality is already there even before stepping into the Lions' den. Cav, talk to us about this Manchester derby. What you think? We'll be coming back to Sheikh to at least, give us some, because we Gunner fans want to hear you say something that, will interest us. We need that title, man. Yeah, man, talk to these people.
You want to hear my honest opinion?
I want to hear your honest opinion, man. Honest opinion, bro.
Listen, I wouldn't bet on it. I wouldn't hold my breath on it. I think City gonna smash United. Due to the fact, Derby or not, I know, Derby, no matter what form anyone's in, for a derby.
Form out the window. Come on, man.
I just think now, Haaland he's officially back. De Bruyne, I think he'll start. He's back. I just think the way that City are playing now, it's that business end of the season, and now everyone's going to really see that Man City turning up again. I think Man United, with obviously Højlund's out. I heard Maguire's out as well. You've still got Martinez out. There's quite a lot of injuries. You know, we've got Amrabat. Amrabat doesn't really look comfortable playing as a left back anyway.
Sure.
Yeah, I can't see it. I just can't see it, man. I think
you can't just see it, right?
It's going to be comfortable at Old Trafford. Maybe there could have been a potential to play for a draw, sit back, but I think at Etihad, I think if that first goal goes in early in the first 10 minutes, you could be looking at a demolition. You know,
a demolition, right?
Yeah, I just can't see it.
But you know what? Yeah, people said, see, pundits, no one gave them a chance before they went to Liverpool. Even me, I said 9-0. I said Liverpool was going to pummel them about 9-0. That's what I said. Many other fans were saying, it's going to be 10. Some were saying it's going to be 7. Some said 6. And we're not deluded. We knew that Manchester United team was poor. But when they went out there, whatever, just go there, get the points. And they got the job done. But why is it that this Manchester City, for me, this is one of the poorest Manchester City in years. For me, they still have defensive lapses. They're not really looking that good. Without Rodri, they haven't been looking that good this season. And Rodri even isn't at his best this season. I do see lapses. When Bournemouth played them this season, in the second half of I think this was like a week ago, I saw clear lapses. I think that was last week. Clear lapses. They couldn't cope. They couldn't cope with the with the heat in the middle of the park in the last 10-15 minutes. They weren't looking good. There's lapses in this Manchester City team. Manchester United just have to go down to the Etihad, find spaces, that will find a credible tactic that will work, and they might just get something going on for them. Sheikh, Kav, what do you think?
Do you know what?
See,
as
the
well,
thing
though?
is,
It's only
go on,
because
Kav.
No, sorry, I was just going to say, looking at the game against Fulham, the amount of chances that Fulham should have put that game away. They should have buried that game well before Iwobi scored the winner. And I just feel if that's City, and especially at the Etihad, City are going to have more chances than that, and they're much more clinical. I just can't see it. And United just haven't been impressing me. When you want United to do something this season, you have the last minutes, like against Wolves, obviously Kobe Mino, things like that. But overall, the performances, even when they're winning, the performances just not convincing at all.
Exactly.
Fernandes as well. I don't know if you guys saw the the clip that's been going around this week of Fernandes. He went down easy and
easy. Shameful.
Yeah,
man.
It's not good.
No, I 100% agree with. I 100% agree with Cav. Like, one thing people need to realize, and I think a lot of United fans will agree with me. Some can disagree. This is just my opinion. Is that right now at this moment of time, we are just Manchester United by name. We are not the juggernauts that we used to be. We haven't had like actual success for almost a decade now. The last time we won a league title was 10 years ago, and in this whole time that. In this whole time that we've had, different managers and stuff like that, they've won trophies here and there, but this season itself, there's not been a single game where we have been completely dominant, where we've slapped up teams by 3 or 4-0 and we've been dominant the whole game. I think one exception that we could take was like a couple of weeks ago we played West Ham, but West Ham ended up conceding 6 to you guys a week later. So it's like West Ham weren't a team that gave us a problem. It's just West Ham were shit. That's just simple as it is. In the games that we've won, when we beat Wolves away from home, when we beat Aston Villa away from home, those weren't good performances. Like, we caught life in those games. Like Wolves, we were up 2-0. The Wolves ended up equalizing 3-3, and it took a moment of brilliance from Kobe Mino to win us that game. Aston Villa, we did Ten Hag's favorite tactic, 60th, 70th minute mark. You bring on Scott McTominay, Marwan Fellaini settings. You just hope he gets a goal, right? Something like that. You just throw him and you throw all the chances to him and you hope he gets a goal. So it's like, right now we are just Manchester United by name. I completely hear this whole talk about, it's a derby. there has to be some sort of pride. We need to turn up for games like this. It's just that I can't confidently say a game like that will win about any team. I was nervous going to Luton Town. I was nervous yesterday playing Nottingham Forest at home. You know what my prediction was yesterday? My prediction was
Well,
1-1 draw. We win on penalties. That was my prediction for Forest because I have no confidence in this team at all this season. It's like we have no style of play. Our players don't want to play for the badge, don't want to play for the shirt. Like there's no like individual qualities that you can bring out from these certain players that will make you think like, oh, he's a great player, he can do this. I hope we get the best out of him. Bruno Fernandes is our captain, and you see Bruno Fernandes do this day in, day out. I've been watching Bruno Fernandes for how long has he been at the club? For around like 5 or 6 years. There's not one thing that you guys and I myself could probably say that Bruno Fernandes is good at this one thing that he excels in, that he's like world class in this ability. There's nothing. There's nothing that we can do. Rashford, yeah, he's been poor. Rashford, like I'm gonna go on and slate a lot of my players because Rashford, he had the great season that he did
Let's
last
go
year.
into that Rashford issue. Yeah, Rashford, man.
Yeah, and Rashford, like having the great season that he had last year, it's merely just a purple patch. I've seen this time after time where he will perform well and then he's just so inconsistent. Like you will see him, there's no in between. You will either see him drop a 0 out of 10, 3 out of 10 performance, or you might be lucky to see him drop a 7 or an 8 out of 10. You don't see him try to improve his type of play, just really, really inconsistent. And now that he's got his 350K contract, it looks like he doesn't give a shit about anything, man. Like he's having to come out and make all these different type of statements because the pressure is massive to him right now. In the past, the differences were that he wasn't on this big money. So now, obviously, now that you're on this 350K contract, which by the way, this manager has given you, you now are expected to perform, and you now are expected to perform on a consistent basis. And the biggest thing that I've asked for all of these players since is do the basics right. Just simply do the basics right. We can't do the basics right. We can't have 10 successful passes together in a game. We can't have dominant football. We can't keep possession. Every single type of game, we played counter-attacking football against Luton Town. Deep that. Like we have no progression in the field. This transition football that Ten Hag has been talking about, no sign of it. Zero style of play. It's just that this is what our club is at the moment, man. And we are just Manchester United by name. Trust me, guys. Like this is my opinion, but this is purely what it is.
It's in the gutters right now. It's in the gutters right now.
Yeah.
Cav, I'll bring you
100%.
into this. Yeah. See, let's talk about this Rashford stuff because, of course, we only have 1 hour and we have to also chip in Arsenal into the whole picture too. Look at this Rashford stuff, yeah. And I want us to be very fair. Yeah, I know we're Arsenal fans, but let's be very fair when you're looking at this. Yeah, is it right? Yeah, for Rashford, who plays for Manchester United, you've just heard from Sheikh TV, just got his new contract, and it seems like he just don't care. Last season, playing for his contract, he scored 17 goals last season with a couple of assists. This season, in 32 games, that guy has only got like 5 goals. Am I correct, Sheikh? If my stats doesn't
Something
kill
around
me.
that
5 goals, something around that, yeah. 5 goals this season. That's poor. If it's not commensurate with what he's earning, that's poor. It's piss poor. If I have a striker, yeah, who's earning that kind of money, I want to see 25 goals on a plate after 26 games. That's what I want to see. I want to see the kind of numbers that Haaland is putting up at Manchester City because that money, it's big, it's huge. And now when you're playing for Manchester United, the pressure is there. Of course, with any player, yeah, the pressure is always there when you're donning that shirt for Manchester United. But in the media, they're slagging him off, and all that. Do you think the media has gone over the top criticizing this guy? Or do you just think, Caviar, hey, you know what, it's part of the game. Suck it up and put up performances on the pitch. Just play. Do your talking on the field. Is that your mindset going into this? I also want you to put into perspective, Cav, also about, of course, black players. There's a history of, the media always, picketing on black players most of the time, talking about his party lifestyle and every other thing. Of course, I do get that as a brother. I do understand that. But there's a bit of truism in this. You're not performing on the pitch. That's a fact.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, that's a fact. But do you know what though? With Rashford, he doesn't do himself any favors because
I was just going to say that.
he's had a bad. Been performing poorly this season, but instead of trying to pick yourself up and get yourself going, you go to Dublin, party, and you get allegedly drunk and hungover, and then you call in sick and you can't play. Do you know what I mean? So he's just not doing himself any favors at all. Since he's got the contract, like it kind of reminds me of like the whole, the Aubameyang situation we went through. Before Aubameyang signed the contract, he was on form. He gets the 350, and then he's like, right, now I don't have to try as hard. I can just sit back.
I don't have to try as much.
Yeah, to me, to be honest, I feel like there's more to this Rashford thing. I feel like mentally his head's not there. Something's up. Whether he needs to leave Manchester United, to get out of that comfort zone and put himself in a different position. I just think
back in the position of becoming an effective striker. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I think a lot of the things he's way too comfortable now, and he knows like he'll be there when if Ten Hag goes, he's part of the furniture. Do you know what I mean? Like he's the so-called the Manchester boy. Like he came through the ranks and everything, and obviously with everything he done through the lockdown and stuff with the kids and everything, like on that aspect as well. I honestly feel he needs to go.
I think so
somewhere else.
Yeah.
Rediscover his form.
Yeah, we know Sancho. Like Sancho, like maybe not get a move away, but maybe go on a loan or something like abroad, and for 6 months, and just find yourself again, find your feet, and then come back firing
again.
I don't know.
No, 100%, man. Like Rashford, the statement that he's come out with, right? Like some of the things that he mentioned was, his family's been getting abused and stuff like that. That's something that I don't agree with at all. Like it has nothing to do with how he's been performing, and that type of stuff is just not warranted at all. But it's like all this other criticism that he gets I think is 100% rightful to ask from him. You're earning 350K at our club. You've been here for time. Right? I don't know how, I don't know exactly what his age might be. I'm probably guessing he's around 26, 27, or 28, right? So you've been here for time. You've been in the team for a good amount now. What can we say that Rashford has improved on for all of this time that he's been here? There's not a single thing that I can bring out that we can say that Rashford has improved on. So in all this time that you've been here, you've not improved on a single thing. I think Rashford literally to his game is just pace and shooting. Like even shooting to a certain extent is good from him. I wouldn't say it's like the best, and all he has is pretty much like pace. So it's like when you talk about, he kept saying stuff like, I want to show my commitment. Don't question my commitment to the club, stuff like that. We're only questioning your commitment to the club is because you don't perform day in, day out. We see clips of him jogging after games. We see him. We don't track back. He don't do none of the basic stuff. Again, it goes back to the basic stuff that we ask you for. So I have to ask for the basics from a player who's earning 350K at our club. That sounds mad to me, like to have that, to make the right runs, to track back, to link up with your players, all that type of stuff. I've seen some comments in the chat too where we're saying that I think Rashford tends to play better with the right players and right squad around him. How many players has he played with? He's had the likes of Pogba. He's had the likes of Cavani up front. He's played with Ronaldo up front. He's played with a bunch of different managers. He's played with Mourinho as a coach. There's a clip where Mourinho said that he doesn't think Rashford is the striker moving forward because he's not that type of player. And I kind of agree with him to a certain extent. We're seeing this right now. How many excuses are we going to come up with for a player like him, right? I just think it's time, like a loan move, or maybe to be sold. I don't know if we get the right price for him. Like if PSG come asking for Rashford again because they're looking to sell Mbappe, 100% take the money. We will take the money every single day. I don't know how much they would put up for Rashford, but I would 100% take the money every single day. It's just that you want to talk about your commitment and you know what it feels like, this whole Mank born and bred and stuff like that. I don't think you know what it feels like to play for this type of club. There are people in the past who died for playing, not not specifically died, but who've literally, you know,
Yeah.
put in shifts day in, day out to play for a club like this. It's a prestige.
Yeah.
It's a privilege to play for Manchester United Football Club. And I just don't think he's good enough at all. I seriously don't think he's good enough at all. Like seriously.
Yeah.
This team, okay, so I see a question. He says, "Are you saying we don't have more average players at the club?" We had the same players at the club last year and he performed. So what is the difference this season? What's wrong this season? We had the same manager, we had the same players at the club. If anything, we've added more, and he's not been able to perform this year at all.
He's
And I
not
had
been
the
able
same
to.
problem.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Yeah,
He's not been able to replicate
perform.
that form last season. Yeah, sure.
Exactly.
His form.
And people can say that, you know, he's got this 350K contract now, and now he just don't give a shit about anything. And I can kind of agree to that to a certain extent. Like, you talk about having commitment to the club, but you lie to the manager and you lie to us fans by saying that you're sick and you don't want to turn up and stuff like that. That's not showing commitment to us. A commitment to us is you putting in a shift every single performance that you play, because you are expected to do that. You get picked day in, day out. You are on big money to do that. So it's like, asking the basics for these players this is where we're going wrong with everything. Now he's being asked to play as a striker. In fairness to him, he's not a striker. We're putting him in different positions just to try to fix things, because Ten Hag has to fix the problem that he has, because he's panicking. And it's like, this itself is one of the problems, is that, one, I just don't think he's capable of playing day in and day out for us. Like, it's just simple as that. And he's just not that good of a player, man. You can, besides pace and his shooting, what is one good thing that Rashford excels at? I don't think we can name one. And if we're so-called great player, if you're so-called a great player, you have more to that. You have a package of a certain couple of things that you can do, and Rashford just doesn't have those things, man. It's just as simple as that. Like,
definitely. We're moving to the Arsenal talk. Yeah, we're moving to the Arsenal talk. See, Caviar, man, I see your claps in your fingers. Yeah, just ready to shoot. Yeah, see, my brother, man. See, we massacred. Yeah, Newcastle. Yeah, just in the last game, my brother. Yeah, in 6 games, 25 goals. This was a team that people said, "Hey, no striker." I was one of those saying, "Hey, we don't have a striker. Why didn't we go into the transfer window to get in a striker?" But here we are. In the month of February, we scored at least a half of what Manchester United have scored in the whole season. Yeah. They've scored 36 goals and conceded 36. That's how piss poor they are this season. But Arsenal, we're flying high, we're scoring goals. 62 goals scored this season. If you think last season was our highest goal scoring season ever, well, just wait until the end of this season. But my brother, man, what is really happening with Arsenal? Why are we scoring so much goals? Just before we get into that Sheffield United talk.
Do you know what it is? Simply going to Dubai, getting some sun in the legs. That's it. Well, do you know what though? In all honesty, right? The chances that we're getting now, if you look at the games in the previous games, start of the season, we're getting almost the exact same amount of chances. The only difference is now we're actually being clinical. We're actually being clinical. We missed so many chances in the first half. Imagine, minus 25 goals at the end of 2023. You're thinking, where's the goals going to come from? And obviously, everyone was calling for an attacker. But obviously, we know in January, it's difficult. If you're going to get anyone, you're going to play over the odds. You're going to pay more. Like Brentford asking for 100 plus for Tony. He's not
100 plus, man. He's not worth that.
This is what I'm saying. So, in all honesty, we've been clinical. And I feel that it's like we've come back. The set pieces, obviously, we know have improved. Nikola Jovic, the set piece coach, a master class.
He deserves a raise, man.
Declan Rice on set pieces. Yeah, that's been great.
Declan Rice on set pieces is a massive difference as well.
Massive difference.
Just the way we're just controlling the press is better. When we lost Jesus, Zinni, Partey not back, I was like, part of me is like, that's it. I think, especially Jesus, because we know Jesus brings Martinelli and Saka into the game more, and that front three together. I thought, that's it. it's done. It's City, Liverpool's title race. But to be fair, I don't know what's happened. Even looking at Kai Havertz now, he's playing with a new lease of life. Seeing him chasing down balls and not giving up, and that aerial threat that he possesses as well. You know, him being in a number 9 position. I mean, I like Trossard playing as that false 9, but Havertz playing in that 9 as well. He offers that aerial threat and that strength and everything, you know, that we kind of missed. I feel that we do need a proper number 9 that's going to have that physicality. Eddie has not really got that. Jesus, yes,
he's not good enough. He's not good enough.
Exactly. So I know you was talking about our scouts watching
Gyokeres. Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised though, because he was at Coventry the last 2 years and he was putting up big numbers for Coventry. I'm surprised nobody looked at him then. I thought he would have been a Premier League player. Then obviously gone to Sporting. Sporting only bought him for 20. Now they're asking for 86 mil. Are we going to spend 86 million on an attacker?
For a striker that's not Premiership proven? That's a big one, man. That's a big one. That's a big one.
But then, exactly.
Look, at least if you're paying 100 for Ivan Toney, at least you know what you're getting. You know you're getting power, strength. You know you're getting hold-up play. You know you're getting link-up play. You know you're getting that kind of guy that would stay traditionally like a traditional number 9, conservative, who will be a fox in the box. You just get balls across to him and he will score you goals. It's Premiership proven, definitely. So, but again, spending that astronomical amount for a Gyokeres, even if I do think Gyokeres is a good player, the technical ability, he could dribble, he could move, he could link on play, he's quite good. He could navigate, scan the whole area. He's really a good guy. His aerial battles are another thing about him, and he can score goals. And at the end of the day, that's what you want to see, Arsenal scoring more
If we
goals.
spend that money, if we're going to spend the money, then I think we should go for, I think Osimhen's just got to be the one. I think when it comes to...
He had a couple of stinkers in the African Cup of Nations, man.
Yeah, because he's not playing with that quality. He's not that Arsenal quality. Do you know what I mean?
Quality, right?
Yeah, that's probably the difference. I think putting someone like Osimhen in a team like ours, I think that European stage as well, Tony doesn't really put... He's good, but I don't think he'll put fair into going to the Bernabeu. Do you know what I mean? And if you've got someone like Osimhen there in a team like ours,
I hear you.
Know, we need a player like that. You know, defenders going to look at and say, "Yo, we really got to deal with him today." And you know, I think Tony, Premiership proven, Championship proven, but I think overall, I'm not 100% sure.
You're not 100% sure. But in all those names that were mentioned, Sesko was also mentioned down there. Pedro Neto mentioned, of course, he's not an out-and-out number 9 anyway. He comes from the wings. Definitely, there's also one other person, Ferguson, who plays for Brighton. Which of those names will be your number 1, on your hit list? And Ivan Toney.
Sesko, I mean, Tony would be, if it was between Sesko, Tony, for me, Sesko's he's not done enough yet.
Not done enough yet, right?
No, he's playing. He's still young. He's only 20 years old. He's playing for Leipzig. For him to come into the Premier League, for us to spend big money on him to be our main driving force, I don't think so. If we was to sell Eddie and get in a top striker and maybe Sesko as like a backup centre forward, then yeah, maybe. But I wouldn't have him as a main out and out go-to guy. No, I don't think Ferguson either.
Ferguson either, right? But see, if you sell for some reason at the end of the season, if Manchester United decide, hey, see, you know what, let's cut our losses, let's revitalize our forward line, I just mentioned these names. These are at least the strikers that are killing it in their leagues right now, Probably maybe apart from Ivan Toney, because of course, he was banned from the sport, for a little bit of time. That's why maybe his numbers is not so high. But these other guys, they have high numbers, mostly Gyokeres, who we're just talking about right now. But again, if let's say Rashford is to be replaced as a striker, yeah, who in amongst these names do you think will come into Manchester United and do a hitman job for you guys? Because already Højlund is not really that guy, right?
Martial as
so
well.
The thing is, yeah.
Exactly,
So to be honest, no, 100%. Martial, like, he's too injury prone and stuff like that. It's just he's not fit enough to play. Like, even though I think in terms of technicality, Martial is not bad, but it's just he's not fit. He don't play. It's like Reece James for Chelsea. Like, you can say Reece James is a great player, but availability is the best ability, right? So it's like, in terms of all those names that you said, I honestly would take Tony, because I think, one, Tony is prem proven. And yes, Højlund is not the person right now, or who we would want him to be right now, because, one, the price tag is like 70 million for him, and we've asked him to do a massive job, right? If you play for a club like Arsenal, you play for a club like Liverpool, Chelsea, us, all these type of big clubs, right? There's massive pressure for you to perform day in, day out. But I think Højlund, and this is what I've been asking for at the start of the season too, is that he needs a second striker, some striker that he can kind of learn from. And if Højlund does not perform well on certain days where we do start him, we have a striker like Tony, if we do sign someone like Tony, to perform for us. And Tony, man, like, from what we can say about Tony, like Osimhen, these are all great names and all that type of stuff, right? I still think I need to see more from Osimhen, because you mentioned the whole AFCON and he went missing sometimes and stuff like that. Tony, I think, is great, is because he plays for I wouldn't say average, but he plays for an above average Brentford team, and he bags goals left and right. Like, he's been out for half the year through his ban and stuff like that, and he's just come back, and he's still scoring goals for them. And not only is he just a great striker, but he also has that set pieces to him too, where he can take free kicks. I think his movement is great. He's clinical. Like, he scored 2 at the Etihad last year and beat them with Brentford. Like, I think Tony, in terms of like Premier League football, is definitely the best pick out of all of them. Like, they're all great shouts. Like, Osimhen, the thing with him is that Napoli, I don't think will sell him if nobody pays his release clause, because his release clause is around 113 million. And Napoli will definitely be looking to definitely get big money on Osimhen. That's one of their best players in the club right now. Yeah, so it's like, will we spend 113 million on Osimhen? Definitely don't think so. But it's like, Tony, even though they will still probably ask for a lot of big money for Tony as well. I just think in terms of all these profiles, I think he fits our team probably the best in terms of what we're looking for to get a second striker for Højlund. I think that Tony would be the best fit for sure.
Definitely. Kav T, I'll bring you into the fray. Arsenal play against Sheffield United, probably away from home. See, yeah, this is the basics, yeah. I'm hearing lots of Arsenal fans saying, you know what, yeah, let's not be overconfident. Let's just go there, open our eyes and play these guys. See, Sheffield United, I don't respect that team. Let's get it correct, yeah. Sheffield United have conceded 66 goals. Let that sink in the league this season in 26 games. Yeah, they've only put up 22 goals this season alone. Arsenal in the month of February have outscored what these guys have done in the whole season. I have no respect for this team. And you know what? Yeah, this is why I'm saying I have no respect for this team, because I want Arsenal to bring back that fear factor, because I do think that Arsenal lost that fear factor last season. Probably, we've been losing this fear factor, but last season we actually did start losing to teams like West Ham, Southampton. Definitely that took our title dream away last season. Yeah, so I want that fear factor to be back. That's how I wanted to keep pummeling these teams 5-0, 4-1. Because before you enter the pitch, just like Manchester City, this team's car in fear, break down, try to hide behind a mid block or low block, and then you can impose yourself more, to these teams and play the way you want them to play for you to gain the advantage. Yeah. But again, do you respect Sheffield United after conceding 66 goals? We should be going down there and smacking these guys 8-7-0. If we're going to the Olympic Stadium and beating West Ham 6 goals, come on, bruv. We should be doing more against the poorest team that I've ever seen in the league in 26 games, 66. That's poor, abysmal.
Yeah. No,
What
no,
do you
no.
think?
You know
How
what?
that get more?
I totally agree, but with me, I think I'm at that stage now where I'm just like, you know what? Let's not think too much into it. Let's just go into the game, play our game, and grab the 3 points. Even if we don't win 5-6-0, even if we won a 2-0, but it was comfortable. That's all I want right now at this stage, because I don't want the same thing to happen last season, where games like Southampton at home, where we thought, yeah, with 3 points in the bag. I don't want to get too complacent and thinking that, yeah, we scored 25 goals so far in the last however many games, and go there, be too complacent, seeing Newcastle beat Sheffield United 8-0, seeing them lose 5-0 just the other day and things like that. I think we just got to go with that calmness, play our game, focus on getting those points and staying in touch with City and Liverpool. At this point, I'm not bothered about, scoring 5, 6, 7, 8 goals, like you said. I just want the 3 points. These are the games you have to collect the 3 points. I just want to keep going for now. I don't want to think too much, and because I know there's going to be a lot of fans. If we only beat Sheffield, say 2-0, a lot of fans are going to be upset. Oh, we should be beating them 5, 6, and all that. But for me, right now, game by game, as long as you go game by game, just keep picking up the 3 points. 3 points. That's all we can do.
No, I see. I hear you. That's a big shout. But in the grand scheme of things, yeah, you should know that right now we're going for a goddamn title. And when you're going for the goddamn title, the stakes are higher. Why am I saying this? I'm talking about the goal difference. Arsenal just pipped Liverpool to a +1 goal difference advantage over Liverpool. That's what I'm talking about. Because if we were to go win this title, yeah, in the grand scheme of things, you have to start thinking about the goal difference. What if this title running goes, down the wire? That probably maybe the goal difference will make the difference at the end of the day. So that's why I'm saying, don't have mercy for these little teams. Go out there, smack them up, beat them brutally, get the 3 points and get the goal difference over teams like Liverpool. And we do know that if Liverpool meets all these little mediocre teams, they're up for a smashing. It's 5-4, 6-7, and they get, very high goal difference. So at the end of the day, when you get to the end of, the business end of the season, they have a higher goal difference. And sometimes that might just be the different marker at times, but I don't know, maybe I'm waffling, but sometimes I just really believe that this goal difference, really, really does matter at the end of the season. Most times, mostly I've not seen a three-way title running in a long time. This is one of the first times I'm seeing a three-way title running. I just think that this might come down to a goal difference kind of a season. It's a freak season of some sort. That's what I feel. Shit.
Yeah, no, it could. Yeah, no, 100%. Like, I hear what you're saying, Tony, for sure. Like, Sheffield United on paper, it's a game that just speaks of Arsenal scoring a lot of goals for sure because of how Sheffield United have been this season. But you're also entering this one point of the stage where if the performances are not good, you have to just be able to scrape out results because it's at the end of the day, it's a results business. And at this point of the season, you can't afford to drop any type of points. And you have to, we've seen so many different champions in the past who've gone to certain teams and only won 1-0 or 2-0 because they know how to scrape out a result. Just do the job. Just like how Cav said, do the job. Like, if you're looking to play some sort of type of football, attacking football, this or that, or trying to score all these goals, cool, that's great. I think that should be the mindset going into every single game. But it's like, in-game management, all that type of stuff makes a huge, huge difference. Like, don't try to expose yourself so much as a team because you're trying to score so many goals. Look to just get that type of result. And I think right now, these type of games are must wins for Arsenal. You can afford to drop any type of points against teams like this because when you go up and play against the tough teams, that game against the Etihad, against City at the Etihad is coming up. And up until then, I think you need to win all your games because then those type of games will decide where you guys truly stand in the title race. And I speak this for the other teams as well. City have to travel to Anfield to play Liverpool, and that's not going to be an easy game for them at all. So it's like same type of thing for them, for everybody at this point, whoever's in the title race right now, you know, City, Liverpool, and Arsenal. You have to be able to just get the results. And if
Get
the
the result.
performance is not the best performance, it's cool. You know, you can move past that. It's just you look at one game at a time, and you have to be able to get the result. Obviously, I hear your whole goal difference thing. Like that could be something that does come into play. I speak of experience. I've lost a title on goal difference before, so it's like I know
Definitely.
exactly how that feels.
So you know what it feels, yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly how that feels, but at the same time, it's just like you need to, because this problem that Arsenal had last year was that when you played the likes of teams like Brighton at home, when you played Southampton at home, you weren't able to win those type of games. And
Yeah.
people can talk about performance, this and that, all of that type of stuff. It's just that those are must-win games, and I think that's where you guys pretty much lost the title last year. You have to look at all of these games as must-win games for sure, and you treat every single game from now on as a cup final. If there's anything that they've tried to learn from last season, that should be the one thing that you should learn from last season is don't change anything up when you're up 2-0 in a certain game. Play the way that you've been playing. Keep that same style that you've been going into with every single game. Like Arteta should learn that at this point of time now into this season. Treat every game as a must win, and just do the basics right, and just look to just win the game and scrap the results out if it needs to be that way. So that's what I would
Great.
say. And you guys,
Great.
yeah,
Great.
I think,
Great.
yeah, 100%.
Great.
Like I think,
Yeah. Predictions before we go, because we have to go right now. I have a show somewhere else.
No
I'm
worries.
sure everyone have other things to do. See, Cav, come in here. See, Manchester Derby. Yeah. What's your prediction?
Here we go, man.
Tell me what you think in your heart and what you want the score to be. And tell me what you think will be the reality in terms of the predictions. Secondly, how do you think Arsenal would fare against Sheffield United on Monday? Predictions for that game before we go.
Well, I want United to win, of course. But in all honesty, I can see a 3 or 4-1 City in that game. I feel I feel if like I was saying before, if City get an early goal, could be a long afternoon for United.
Yeah.
In terms of the Arsenal game, I think the way we've been playing our performances, I think will be too much for Sheffield United. We should be. There's always a potential banana skin when it comes to Arsenal, but I think we should. I think we should win this. So I'll go for a 3-1 victory, Arsenal.
Arsenal, yeah. Chic, talk to us, man. What's your prediction for that matchup against City? Oh my days!
Yeah, so,
please tell me. Give me better news.
To be honest,
man.
I would. I
want that title.
Honestly, yeah. So in terms of like just me from the heart, like I obviously don't want to see United lose any game, but so I will predict myself a 1-1. I don't say this with any confidence at all. I just think, a 1-1 would be a good result for us. I don't think we can win there. I don't even know where the goal is going to come from, if we're being honest. In our last game, we scored in the last 10 minutes from a set piece that Casemiro scored for us. So it's like, I don't think I can confidently say that we can get a goal. Realistically, though, I think it could be, like a 3-0 or a 3-1 or... Yeah, I think it could be one of those type of results for sure. But I will go for a 1-1 personally. That's just what I would hope for. I know you guys would love that, a 1-1, City dropping points, but it could be peak, man. It seriously could be peak on Sunday. It's just like I said, you look at their team and you look at our team, and we're miles apart from
What about Arsenal's game? Straight prediction.
Arsenal's game? Yeah, so realistically, like I genuinely think this. I think you guys beat them 3 or 4-0. Seriously.
3 or 4-0.
The way that Arsenal have been in the Premier League, like I'm not even talking about, obviously the Champions League game against Porto where you guys didn't register a single shot on target. I think in the Premier League team and just looking at the level of Sheffield United, whether even if they're at home or away, I think you guys should 100% slap them up. It should be 3-0 or 4-0. 3 or 4. I'd say 4-0 Arsenal.
4-0. Good. Cav, please, man, shout out your channel, man. Thanks for coming to the show today, man. Big ups to you. And you know what? Yeah,
man, big up,
I think it would be good for us to, keep this show going. Yeah. So, maybe later on when we do have time, I'll talk to you guys individually if we can do a common show together and multi-stream to our channels. I like this crew. Let's see what we can do together, guys. So, Cav, shout out your channel, man. And tell them what you got.
Thanks for having me again. Yeah, everyone, if you can subscribe to the Red Pitch podcast. Shout out Chic TV, shout out Tony. Pleasure to be here with you guys. Hopefully we can, do more of this, like you said, man. So appreciate it.
Yeah. Chic TV, my guy, my brother. Talk to these people, man. Tell them what you got
Yeah,
coming
man.
up.
Thank you, guys.
Shout out your channel.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure to be on this channel for the first time, to speak to you, Tony, to speak to you, Cav, absolute top legends, man. You guys definitely in the chat subscribe to both their channels, and yeah, you can find me on Chic TV. Every Monday I do a show called the Mud Brothers, where I have a couple of other teams, like Chelsea, Spurs, and all the teams that are in the mud, basically. We have a great panel there, and then tomorrow I will be going live on the channel to do a Manchester Derby preview. And then on Sunday, for every single Manchester United watch along, you can catch me on Sarcasm City TV. And then right after the game, I do a match reaction, just immediately after the game. But yeah, man, thank you guys for having me on the Thank you for having me on the channel, Tony. Been an absolute honor to talk to y'all. And yeah, man, subscribe to Chic TV. And yeah, thank you. Hopefully we can do more shows in the future. Definitely would love to be on this channel, and I need to have you on the channel too, Tony, and you as well, Cav. So
yeah, sure,
we'll definitely
definitely
in like that out as well.
I've just subbed to your channel as well. So
appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, man. I've subbed to you too. I've been checking you guys out.
I see you in the chat a lot. Yeah. I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, sure, man. See ya, guys. Yeah, we are out. I'll catch you guys soon. Yeah, big ups.